Welcome to She Did Her Best, a podcast where perfection is overrated and life's messy moments are our best stories, celebrating the moms who did what they could and two friends who've been figuring out the rest together for over 20 years.
Hey there, I'm Ashley, journeying through life with a sense of humor and a lot of experiences, but no kids of my own.
I'm Kayla, a mom who's balancing her career as I approach the final years of raising children. Ashley and I have been navigating this crazy world side by side for 2 decades, and we've got some stories to tell.
All right, so hi everybody.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to She Did Her Best.
Yeah. We're gonna talk today about something kind of funny, like pet peeves. Everyday pet peeves that just like annoy us. I think I have a lot about my children that I could probably talk about.
And not to be confused with like icks.
Yeah.
We just did the icks episode. So if you haven't listened to that one yet, please do. It's really funny. I promise.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. And then like relationship and friendship deal breakers.
Yes.
Like those were kind of things that came top of mind. So
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Let's dive into it. I love this. So I guess we are going to start with
Everyday pet peeves.
every day.
Yeah.
Like these are the kind of things that like your spouse, your children, your dog,
or just strangers in
or
general.
strangers. Yeah. Like going, somewhere and they don't, put their cart in the cart thing. Like, don't just park it up on the curb, bruh. Like that's just rude. Help the guys out. It's 120 degrees out.
Okay, but like to that point, I do that sometimes 100%.
Okay, so I'm
Because
not
it's
going to say I
hot.
never have. Not going to say I never have. I will say it's a good 95.5.
Listen, if I'm close, I will do it. But if I have to go one aisle over and cross the road to put the cart away,
I can see that.
the buddy's going on the curb.
Yeah, because nobody pays attention out here. So there's that.
And it's hot.
It's hot.
I don't want to walk in a blow dryer any longer than I have to.
Okay, I understand, but like, what would you say percentage wise?
I mean, like 90% of the time I put the cart away. I would probably say.
So I just want to make sure you're not a complete asshole.
No, I don't do it
Okay.
every time.
Okay,
No.
all right.
But to be clear, during the summertime, that percentage is probably a little bit higher.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I just don't understand why people don't do it though. Like ever. Like there are those people that are like, it keeps them employed. No, it's 115. They're playing rock, paper, scissors in the back.
Yeah.
In their break room.
No, I've seen them wearing like
The reflective vest.
Well, no, even at Chick-fil-A they have the like cooling vests.
Okay,
that
have you
they
seen-
wear, which is
but
great.
Those are
Like, what a
probably
great
only like
idea.
AJ's workers though.
Chick-fil-A.
No, but Chick-fil-A is raking in dough, man. Come on.
Yeah.
But no, I'm talking about like places that actually care enough to buy those for their kids. Because
Yeah.
it's not some 60-year-old person. It's one of the younger kids that as it should be.
Yeah.
As it should be.
We don't need any old people.
Correct. We don't need them croaking in that 115. Like that's unnecessary. Okay, so that's my pet peeve.
That's one of your pet peeves. Okay.
It's literally, it
There
happened
you
this
go.
morning.
Did it really? I love that.
I saw 2 people just packing up my groceries leave their carts as right next to their car
there.
instead of walking. Like there was one that was like 3 spaces away. Didn't have to cross.
Right.
Like 3 spaces down to the right. You know what I mean?
Well, okay. There's also a difference of like leaving the cart in the middle of a parking spot. That's way worse.
yeah. Then like trying to like park it on the corner.
Yeah, at
the
least,
4
like,
corners.
Correct. Like at least get it out of the way so somebody can park there. And like maybe I'm doing them a favor and leaving a cart nearby for them to take.
Oh, look at you looking
So
at the
they
other
don't have
side.
to like look around for a cart
So you're
or
saying,
something.
so like if
I don't know. It might be 180
if somebody
degree
who just
cart.
broke their leg needed assistance, there's a cart right there instead of them
That's
having to
right.
walk all the way to the front door.
There you go.
Girl, look at that perspective.
Look at that.
Open up our minds.
It's really just the best excuse I got.
Right, exactly. I'm actually doing somebody a favor.
Okay, one of mine. So I think about this, especially like when I'm out grocery shopping or like Disneyland, like really crowded places.
Yeah.
Slow walkers.
Oh.
And listen,
There needs to be a slow and a fast lane, and there needs to be traffic signs.
yes,
Like they had during COVID. They had signs. They had the
it
arrows
was
on
the
the floor.
best thing ever.
You know what? I actually agree with this. I'm here for this.
And
Preach
I'm
on it, girl.
I'm a slow walker. I'll be honest.
Sometimes I am too.
I am not a fast walker, but read the room.
Yeah, for those of you who like, hey, I just got off work. I need to get home. I need to make dinner. I need 3 things from the store.
Yeah.
They should be able to have a fast pass.
Correct.
And be like, hi, I have 10 items or less going in my cart. I can't even ring up an 11th item. I have to leave it there. So like 10 items or less, you're getting in this fast pass. Girl, I support that.
I know.
I'm here for that.
It's like,
Again
get out
today.
of my way. Move. Get out. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Yeah, like I need feta cheese and cabbage. Like let me get out of here. I don't need to be here with all of the wanderers doing their weekly or monthly grocery run. Like bitch, beep beep.
Beep, beep.
Beep beep bitch.
Also,
For sure.
P.S. Like we are totally realize how ridiculous all of this sounds and is, and it's really just funny.
Yes. Yeah,
So,
no, we aren't actually taking it
PSA.
seriously. By any means. Not even taking it seriously.
They're like, God, these idiots. They want to do fast passes at grocery stores. No, we don't
You know
actually
what?
think that would work.
No. Oh my God, no. There's no
We're not-
way. The only people who
This
do it
is
would be
a
us.
completely
Yeah.
illogical.
Yeah.
podcast.
These are just ideas maybe to help encourage, people higher up in management or whatever.
take it
to
for
maybe,
what you will.
Yeah. Just
Run
think
with
about
it.
it. Just
Run
at,
with it.
at least like let it sink in for like 2 minutes. And then you can be like, meh, fuck that. Bad idea.
Bad idea. We
Trash. Yeah, that's fine. But also we are just consumers. I don't think either of us have ever worked in a grocery store.
tried. No.
Okay. Retail, this can go back to my pet peeves. I worked for Victoria's Secret for like a year and a half. And it was great. It was a second job. I was in my early 20s. My boyfriend at the time was deployed, and I got a second job so that I would stay out of trouble. Well, he was deployed.
Oh my God. Help us.
Because I am a Sagittarius at the end of the day. But no, he cheated on me instead. So and then called me crying, and I took him back, and then I moved to Florida. What the fuck?
Idiot.
Such an idiot. But I was 24 and I was in love, and I went, So anyways, with that, working in retail. So I worked at Arizona Mills Mall, Victoria's
Oh
Secret,
dear.
because it was the closest to my
dear.
house. And we used to live at the Buttes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, we had to fold every pair of underwear at the end of the night. For anybody who's ever walked
hell.
into a Victoria's Secret in the last 20 years, that there's about 1 million pairs of underwear in there. Those kids have to actually, and I say kids, I was doing it at 24 years old, but they actually have to refold every single pair of underwear before they leave for the night. We would sometimes be there anywhere from 2 to 5 hours after the doors closed,
Oh my God.
folding.
That's not acceptable.
Like I would be there until midnight sometimes. Like it was mind-boggling, but it made the store look good. So
For the first 10 minutes of opening.
correct. And then so there's the pet peeve. People walk into places, and this is why I go back to everybody should work in retail, or they should serve, like work at a restaurant, even front of the house. You'll get experience with the shitheads.
Yeah.
But those kind of things, like there's no need to pick up 17 pairs of underwear to choose a extra large. or a small. You know, like you can literally look at the tags, pull it out, but no, they go burp, and then there's all of a sudden this underwear explosion, especially during like the panty days when they would do like 7 for 30 or whatever it was. They
probably still do that.
I guarantee they do, and they have to fold every single fucking pair of those things at the end of the day. So yeah, that's like the people. I read something, and Dan vet me, that only like 6 to 10% of people are actually aware of other people around them and actually take other people into consideration. Literally 90% of people are like, I don't fucking care. Don't care what happens after I touch it. And I'm like, I wonder if that's real, but also like, it probably is. But like now, like if I go into a place like retail place like that and I see even in like Walmart, like, come on, people, they have to fold all those at the end of the day. But like, I'll get my shirt, the size I need, get it out, and then put them back. Like I don't unfold every single one of them because again, they're easily marked. Yeah. Pet peeve. First world problem.
First world problems. Okay. So, you know, having teenagers is so much fun.
Oh yeah.
Like it's the best. My kids are spoiled and do not come at me, but they have 2 chores to do. 2. Take out the trash and recycle and do the dishes.
Do they get allowances?
Absolutely
not.
not.
Okay.
Absolutely
then that's fine.
2 things they have to do.
Yeah.
And they switch off every other day. One does the trash and recycle one day and one does the dishes, and then they switch off, right?
Okay.
If you're the last one to put something in the trash can and it's overflowing that you have to now put your trash on the counter, just take the trash out. Just take it out. It literally takes 30 seconds to take our trash out. 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Pure laziness. Pure laziness. Or the fact that when they have to do the dishes, if it's not in the sink, if it's just to the right on the counter, it's not getting washed. If it's not in the sink. But if it's
full in the sink, then how are you can't just keep piling it up to the ceiling. You have to put it on the side.
Exactly, but they won't wash it. Fuckers.
Some people's kids.
I know.
My favorite saying.
It's the worst. I've had it.
Oof.
I've had it.
I'm gonna kill him. Okay, so another pet peeve, everyday pet peeve is teeth scraping on silverware.
Oh my God.
Or on plates.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to cut in to the plate.
Agreed.
You need to cut the meat down to the plate. Maybe you get a little tippy tappy, but not.
But the teeth one, girl, that makes me
I want to
goosebumps
die
on the inside of my like throat, and it's not good.
No, I want to puke, scream, and cut off my ears at the same time. All of it at the same time. Just thinking about it now. Like there's a scene in the second Ace Ventura movie where Jim Carrey is torturing the guy with the big fan behind him.
Yes.
And he's literally he's scraping a fork and a knife on a plate. And I
had to fast forward, huh?
Oh my God. I'm literally getting goosebumps in my eyes right now. I'm going to cry. Oh, dear. Literally my eyes are watering. I want to throw up. There's a scene, and like Jim Carrey was the funniest guy to me my entire life.
Yeah.
Him and R.I.P. Robin Williams.
Yeah, I was just going to say Robin Williams too.
Like they were literally like the 2 funniest men I had growing up in movies, right? So like Mrs. Doubtfire, Hook, you know, like those So like, I just love him. But that scene, whoever came up with that, whoever wrote that into the script, or if he did that improv, I give him props for that, because
Genius.
I would literally have walked off the set. That would have been me.
That would have been me.
I would have walked off the set. I would have been like, fuck you guys, I'll be back in 10 minutes. Like, I can't listen to this. So, yeah. So literally that bothers the shit out of me. And my husband, like, I can just look at him and he's like, I'm sorry, babe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, babe. And I'm like, flaring my nostrils like, I will cut you with that knife you are holding right now. Stop scraping.
Okay, so like, I don't have this problem, but Eliana absolutely does. She cannot stand like loud chewing.
I'll say that too. Like, if somebody...
Okay, but like, hers is kind of extreme. Like, she can't even stand chewing around her. Or like, if
heavy breathing.
If I take a like gulp of a drink and I like physically gulp,
Yeah.
she's like, stop.
You're like, stop. What?
I think
breathing,
she's just at
swallowing?
the phase where everything I do annoys her.
Oh, there it is. Okay,
You know?
I remember that phase.
Oh,
Yeah.
everything's
Ew.
the worst.
Yeah. Ew. I just can't. Bruh.
Bruh. For real.
Yeah. No, I get that. Let's see, another icky. I feel like little things annoy me, and then until it happens, like, I'm not annoyed, but like, for the most part, I feel like there's only a few things that really, really bother me. Also, we experienced this while we were camping. This goes back to like people not even thinking about other people. So I'm just adding out a little side note to I'm adding out a story. So we went camping in northern Arizona last weekend, not this past weekend, the weekend before. And God, was it a beautiful reprieve from the heat. So, we got a little drizzle. It was amazing. But we were up there, and it's a popular camping site because it's one of the only places that cools down enough in Arizona. And there were multiple campsites around us. We could barely see them. They were far enough away, like they kept their distance, but they were playing loud ass motherfucking music until 11:30 the first night, and 11 o'clock the second night.
I don't know about the second night.
That's right. You fell asleep at like 7 p.m.
Yeah.
I think you were asleep in your tent by 7.
Yeah.
So anyways,
but there were girls like screaming at the top of their lungs until like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Like, they were doing like some crazy, like, animalistic, sacrificial,
They were loud.
Shit going down. And I'm like, these fucking assholes. Like, we are out here in nature trying to enjoy the nature. I can't even hear the goddamn bugs squawking because there's mariachi music happening next door. And there was techno to the other side. So, like, how are we? Those aren't even chill, bro. Like, neither one is chill.
Hype music.
And I'm like, is anybody... First off, it's 11. So here's the other thing. We all went to bed early because we couldn't have a fire.
Yeah,
because,
so we couldn't see.
So we couldn't see each other. We had one lantern, and it, like, between all of us, you could barely see our faces once we were in a circle. But, like, hype ass music around us. We're trying to sleep because also we're in our mid to late 40s or 30s. Sorry.
Whoa. Don't age me.
Edit that out.
I mean, some of us are in our mid to late 40s.
No. Yeah, my husband. But yeah, so
Craig.
like, right. But it's that I was like, come on, guys. Also, we had children, like babies with us. So that was like, why are we going to be up until midnight? A, we can't see each other. And B, it's a little chilly out.
And we were waking up at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Because that's when the sun was coming up.
Right.
So
don't be so loud when you're camping.
Like,
it's rude.
Be courteous of each other. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand, like, why we're out in nature. Be courteous.
Yep.
Don't be dicks.
Don't be dicks.
We had music on until the sun went down, and then we turned the music off.
Yep.
And we didn't even have loud music.
No.
It was enough for us to hear, and that was
That's
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I just don't understand.
Okay. I have a really big issue with the way my husband chooses parking spots. I'm not quite sure how he parks without me. But I'll tell you what, the man cannot find a parking spot to save his life.
Well, he's got the ADHD, doesn't he not?
No, his excuse now is that he's so afraid to pick the wrong parking spot because I'm going to yell at him that he can't even pick a spot anymore.
So I try to do my best not to comment when Chris is driving because I know it drives him absolutely insane. And he rebuts right back. Well, if you wanted to drive, then why didn't you drive? Because I don't want to drive.
And you wouldn't let me anyways.
Well, yeah, he would. Chris never wants to drive.
Oh, really?
No, I do not get to be passenger princess.
Oh, no.
Electively.
Dan does not really want me to drive.
I mean, I wouldn't want you to drive either. Full transparency. I love you, Kayla.
I'm a great driver.
Yeah, is that why you have a couple dents in the front of your car?
I don't have any dents in the front of
Or
my
scratchies?
car. No.
Yeah.
On my wheels?
No, on your
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
We're going to have to go check that out.
We will. Dan will edit that out if it's not true. I guarantee it's true. And he probably is laughing listening to this. Yeah, no, but I've been in the car with you. You're a little crazy. It's okay though. Like I'm safe enough. I drive with you.
Safe enough.
Yeah, like we haven't even gotten close to anything.
I mean, I drove you all the way home from Palm Springs.
That's true because I had to work.
Yeah.
Because you're an angel.
Yes.
And you were fine.
I wasn't feeling fine that day. Was not
No,
feeling
you
very
were
well.
not. Yeah, that was another night.
Jesus.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
interrupted your story.
Dan trying to find a parking spot.
Yeah.
He just can't do it. We went to a concert the other night and gets into the parking lot and he's like in the middle of it, which, you know, you're at an arena, so it's a big parking lot.
Yeah.
And we were there really early, so it was pretty much empty. He goes essentially in the middle of the lot, maybe a quarter of the way in. And he's like, "Where do you want me to park?" In this huge open lot. And I say, park somewhere up in the front and close to the exit.
If possible.
Yeah. Which it was possible.
That's exactly right.
He couldn't understand where I was telling him to park, which maybe, you know, I wasn't explaining it because that's what my nephew said, that he's like, I didn't understand what you were saying either.
No, that makes perfect sense. So as close as you can get to the front, so it's less of a walk, but close to the exit, so that you can be one of the first people out at the end of the concert.
Right.
I get it.
But I was saying like the aisle way because I couldn't.
Okay, so it was user error.
It could have been.
It was speaking error.
But just pick a spot. Stop asking me for my opinion. I don't care. Make a decision. Park
I cannot.
in the shade, preferably.
Oh, yeah.
And close to the front.
Yeah.
Those are my two requirements: in the shade and close to the front.
I think that anybody who's from Arizona or has been here since they were kids, they figured that out real quick.
Yeah.
Like it's better to take a park a little bit further away if it's a shady spot, especially if you're going to be in for a long time.
Yep.
But if you're going to be in for a couple minutes,
Whatever.
whatevs.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Well, especially like because my car has black leather and it gets so
Yes.
hot.
Well, do you do like a towel or anything?
No.
You should. I remember I used to just have a towel in my car
It's a good idea.
for the summertime.
Yeah.
And I had tan leather and it would still burn the back of my legs.
Ugh,
It was terrible.
terrible.
Yeah. Okay, so I think like another pet peeve of mine. Let's see. So it's kind of a pet peeve. But like people who want to make plans really, really, really far in advance.
That's me.
Like 6 months in advance. I'm like, bro, I don't know where I'm going to be.
I don't even know if I'm going to be alive.
Right. Like, I'm not making plans. Like, if I'm the perfect person that if you wake up on a Saturday morning and you're like, bitch, let's go get some brunch. And I'd be like, okay, give me 20 minutes.
Yeah, you're very spontaneous.
Yeah, I'm down for like a last minute plan, but like shit in advance. And like, I now understand why people do it as adults, because it's hard to get together, especially now that like people have little ones in our group. So I get why we do it, but like it annoys me. Just an FYI.
Yeah. Well,
I think I've made that clear to y'all though.
For me, like I have to, because Eliana,
right,
once she starts cheer, and that's like
cheer,
you know
is
what
life.
I mean?
Yeah.
Everything is planned around that. And so if I don't make a plan, I won't be able to see anybody for like 4 months.
Right.
Bye.
Right. Unless we go
cheer.
to you. Yeah. And that makes sense.
But I've always been very plan ahead. But I also think, especially the last 14 years, because the boys like played soccer and did sports, and we, split time. And so it was like all planned around different,
Yeah.
So I kind of had to be that way.
That makes sense.
Because of my lifestyle.
Yeah. It's just annoying.
It is. It's very annoying. Another thing that my husband does that really annoys me, I told him this the other day and it actually worked, is like sometimes he'll like start projects and not finish them. Like he'll get 75, 80% of the way done and then just not finish them.
Okay.
And it drives me up the wall because he can totally finish them.
Yeah.
He just chooses not to sometimes.
Do you think that you're the same way?
100%. Oh, absolutely. I'm
so
the
it
same
applies.
And I will get it done eventually. And so will he.
Yeah.
He's just a little slower than me.
Okay.
Maybe I'm a little faster than him.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
That is so funny. Because I'm one of those, like, I have to finish it right away because it bugs the shit out of me if I keep staring at it.
Yeah. I wish I could be that way.
But then that's why I have a clean house, but we have like our shoe room, right? Like it's chaotic as shit in there.
Yeah.
It's like Monica's closet.
But you close the door and
But
don't
I keep
look
the door
at it.
closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, well, the thing is like we use our garage a little bit for storage, but I feel like some of the stuff that I would like to store is too sensitive to get that hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't want it to melt. So then I have to store it upstairs. So it's just, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's fine.
It's fine.
Everything's fine. Okay. So, we did some like do you have any more PVs you'd like to add?
No.
Okay. So then let's do, because we're going to make it a little more specific today. So let's go to relationship deal breakers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like relationship with a significant other, whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah, a partner. A romantic partner.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Deal breaker. Number one for me. I'll go. Is
She's got them lined up.
I got it lined up. Somebody who is like not motivated to like
better themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like that is the biggest turnoff ever. And I don't even think it has to do with like money or anything like that. It just has to do with like wanting more for yourself.
Yeah.
Even if it's like learning a new skill or wanting to achieve XYZ goal with like working out or like, just doing different things. It doesn't have to be, anything like that. It's just
It's
like
not like, oh, you have to run a marathon every year.
No.
It's just more like having some goals.
Yeah.
And being
not
willing
settling.
to work. Yeah. Willing to work toward them.
Yeah.
On a daily or at least multiple times a week.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. I think that it's good to have goals. I think that, and I can only speak from experience, of course, but I have gone through periods in my life where I was very unmotivated to do anything. And I felt more like a robot, where I would get up, go to work, do my work, come home, go to bed.
Yeah.
And just do it over and over and over again. And I feel like after leaving a job where I had a lot of burnout, I needed no motivation at all. I needed to heal, I needed to sleep, and I needed to get my cortisol back to normal.
Yeah.
So I think that having periods too off just to counter you is good for your mental health.
But you wouldn't start a new relationship
Correct.
if you were in that period of your life.
Correct. Well,
And
that you would
that's
hope not.
That's not who you are as a person
Correct.
either.
Yes. But I think too, because like I said, I just want to counter you. I want to play both sides. But I think though too, starting a new relationship, you should be in your best headspace or close
Exactly.
to your
Yep.
best headspace. Because if you can't love you, how do you love somebody else? There are people that will counter that, but I can't. It's hard for me to see the other side. But having a partner that pushes you is great too.
Yeah.
Like one that you can have both ends of that.
Correct. Yeah.
So I think in the long term, as long as like you guys talk about those slow times or those unmotivated times, I think that, and you guys are both at, you're both okay with it or however you're feeling. I think that that's important, but also starting a new relationship, I think you should be in your best headspace.
Yeah.
Or close to it.
And there's not, and I think too,
or at least a
that
clearer headspace.
it's okay to go through those times.
Yeah.
Because we've all been there.
Yeah.
But I also think like at the core of somebody, like they need to have that type of
Yeah, like they need
will.
to have more motivations than zero.
Correct.
Yes.
And I just want somebody like who will push that in me.
Yeah.
So they push that in them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I like that too. I like this is something my husband does not do is push me. Have I been with partners that did push me? Yes. Did I appreciate it? Yes. Were there times I didn't? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Or absolutely yes.
yeah.
Like there were times where I was like, yeah, I don't need to be pushed right now. They're like, oh, well, don't you want to do this and this and this? And I was like, no, I don't want to do all those things. I just want to do one of them or two of them, So I found that I keep myself motivated
Yeah.
being with my husband now because he doesn't push me ever. And that's one of the things I appreciate about him because I'm one of those people I don't like to be pushed.
Yeah. See, and I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
I need that.
Yes, we've had that. We've had that discussion. Yeah. And I think it's a good, but like, I think it's a good thing to have from a partner. Mm-hmm. Like I'm open to it either way.
Yeah.
I just happen to have not a pusher now.
And it's not one of the things that you look for in a partner.
Correct. It's not a deal breaker for me. Yeah. But like it just goes to show how different we can be as best
Humans,
friends and humans and just in what we require from our partner. So yeah. So deal breaker for me, cigarette smoker. Easy peasy, lemon fucking squeezy.
Yeah.
Like it's absolutely disgusting, but counter to that, I smoke weed every single day. So like it's a whole different dragon in my head.
Yeah.
And like all of the chemicals and stuff, like I feel like cigarette breath is absolutely atrocious. And like you can smell it on them when they walk into the store and out of a store and like you walk by them in an aisle, like, oh, that's a smoker. And I'm like,
it's funny. Dan and I were just talking about this when Dan and I started dating, we were both smoking cigarettes.
I was going to say.
And Dan was smoking probably like a pack of cigarettes a day, if not a pack and a half.
Okay.
He was smoking a lot. But I thought it was so hot. Like I love that bad boy. Like, oh.
I can't.
Look at you killing yourself.
I know.
So sexy.
You're so sexy. I love that you're blowing your lungs apart right
I
now
know.
and just making them shrivel up and turn brown.
I don't see that many people smoking cigarettes anymore because I think a lot of people are vaping now. And so you don't see a ton of cigarette smokers. And when you do see cigarette smokers, I feel like it's the older generation that are still smoking cigarettes.
Yes, it's not the young kids.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to smell.
Yeah. So that's interesting to me. But I mean, who knows? We don't know what the side effects of all that stuff's going to be.
Yeah. Okay, so like did you smoke cigarettes for a long period of time, or were you like a social smoker, like when you drank? Like,
no, I smoked cigarettes.
I don't remember this part of you.
When Dan and I first started dating, up until I want to say 2013, 2014.
Okay.
So like from the time Eliana was born, well, not after, like after I was done breastfeeding and stuff, but yeah.
Thank you for the clarification. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But did you smoke before that?
Yeah.
Okay. But you were like a social smoker, right? Like when we were out drinking, you would smoke. Okay. That's what I thought, but I didn't realize like you were doing it.
Yeah. And then Dan and I started dating, and then I started smoking.
Because he was smoking and you wanted to be in the back.
Yeah.
Let's be Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh,
okay.
God. Yep.
My mother smoked, my stepmother and my dad smoked.
Oh, wow.
So my stepdad was the only one who didn't smoke growing up. And I remember like them smoking in the car with us. And I remember how fucking gross it was. And I remember going to restaurants.
Oh, yeah.
Some people may be too young listening to this, but probably not if you're relating to us. But remember like smoking sections?
Yes.
Do you remember when smoking on a plane was okay?
I don't remember that.
I remember flying when I was really, really young, and my dad and my stepmom's, because we were going to Florida. And I remember they were smoking on the plane.
I mean, I remember the planes with the ashtrays.
Yes.
Like I do remember that.
Yeah. And then smoking sections in restaurants.
Smoking sections in restaurants. They had smoking sections. They had smoking rooms in airports. That I remember.
Oh.
That I experienced.
Okay.
Which is so gross.
Yeah.
Because it's like room.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably just like a cloud.
Literally. Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, the cigarette thing was so gross. I was dating, or I started talking to somebody, and he was a cigarette smoker. And he was like trying to get me to go out with him. And I kept telling him, I don't date cigarette smokers. Like that. It's an absolute no. Because if we can't make out, I'm not here for it.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, he's like, it's not that bad. And I was like, I don't think you get it. You're not understanding. So, finally he was like, okay, I'm going to quit smoking. And I was like, all right, I'll go on a date with you. He switched to vaping. I heard the second we broke up, he went back to
oh my God.
And I'm like, yeah, like he used to say he loved it. Like he was like, oh, it's like the best thing. And I'm like, it smells terrible.
But when you're the smoker, it doesn't smell terrible to you.
It's true. It's true.
So
yeah,
that's why.
Fucking smokers.
Okay. For me, bad teeth.
Oh, same.
Bad teeth. Nope.
Yep.
I'm out.
I actually remember because Chris and I met online dating. And I remember because he never smiles with his teeth in any pictures. And I remember asking him specifically for a teeth picture. And he was like, why? You want to make sure they're not fucked up? And I was like, actually, yes. Thank you so much. And I remember him sending me a picture. I was like, oh, great. We're good. Yeah. But I was like, bro, braces are not that expensive.
And like, they don't have to be perfect.
They don't have to be perfect.
Take care of your teeth.
But take care of your teeth.
I don't want that mouth anywhere near me if your teeth are not up to par.
Correct.
Get out.
Meaning you're brushing twice a day and there's not one sticking through your top lip.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah. Also, this is really a deal breaker for me, to be honest with you, is gross feet. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't like feet. So you already know that. Yeah. So like they have to at least be decent. Like,
Okay.
they don't need to be perfect, but sorry.
That's totally fine. I get that. Cause like if we're going to be playing footsie in bed too, cause I like to do that.
I don't want your feet skin falling off on me.
Correct.
Or your talons scraping my leg.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. Clip your goddamn toenails. Like, what
Feet
is
are
wrong with you?
gross.
Who told you it wasn't okay to go a month?
Especially like, I know men
should be
don't
clipping them every
typically
week.
go and take care of those types of things, but like at least if it's starting to look scary, do something about it.
Yeah. If you have something on your feet that's resembling some sort of a creature, it's time, bro.
It's time.
And like, if you don't want to do it, pay somebody.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Pay somebody. They'll take care of it for you. Just go. And it's a great, like, you get a foot rub, you get a leg rub. It's worth the money.
And
it's
trust
amazing.
me, girls don't want your gross feet.
No. And then
But that's a deal breaker for me, for sure.
going
never.
with that, flip flops and jeans. You cannot wear flip flops and jeans together. I know this is Arizona, so flip flops are acceptable 365 days a year, but you cannot wear them with jeans. It is so, like, why cover up your legs and then have your feet exposed, bro? Like, I hate the way it looks. I always have.
I completely agree with you, except there was a time in my life, I would say 2003 to 2005, where it was absolutely acceptable to wear Abercrombie
100%.
jeans and Abercrombie flip-flops.
Yes.
And that was the jam.
Yes, with the little polo.
Yep.
And it was probably from Abercrombie or Aerie or Arrow. And then you probably had some sort of a fabric or leather belt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, totally fine in 2003 to 2006.
collar.
Yeah, popped collar. Fuck. Fuck. No, you brought up the popped collar.
I 100% have pictures of me in a
Oh
pop
my
collar.
God.
So embarrassing. Why was that a thing?
I think proof is necessary.
Why was that a
And
thing?
you know what? I'm actually thinking I may have one too.
Oh my gosh. You absolutely have to find one because I know exactly where mine is.
Okay, I only have a box of pictures. Fucking totes.
Jesus.
But okay, I'll have to find it.
Yeah.
There's some things that I wore in high school that I'm not proud of today, but it's okay.
Yeah, like leg warmers and an Abercrombie jean skirt.
Oh my God. Yes. I loved my jean skirt with my sweater and my Ugg boots. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't. I still have those Ugg boots, bitch.
I still have my Ugg boots from high school too. Those things last forever.
Forever. And I've actually like waterproofed them a couple times, got the spray.
They're great.
They're great. Great. And I'm like, okay, well, we're good.
God.
Okay, so do you have a PV, a relationship or a relationship
For men. Yeah. When a man is like too feminine,
Yes.
I need a masculine man. And there's like, it's okay. Some women like feminine
Yes.
men
Yeah.
that are a little bit more submissive.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm talking about. Like I need somebody to put me in my place every
Yes.
once in a while.
Yeah.
And I know that I need that. And I know that I need that like push, like we were talking about before.
Exactly.
And so like I would, and I have walked all over men like that.
Yeah.
Because I used to date a man for a very long time that was very submissive, and I walked all over him.
I mean, you guys did tell me I'm the nicest I've ever been to a person I'm dating is my husband currently.
Yeah,
Because same.
yeah,
But here's the thing too, is like we had this conversation while we were camping as well. Actually, me and your husband. So I like a masculine man as well. I do like somebody who's not afraid to wear the 5 colors. So white, tan, dark, grays, blacks, and like, I don't know, dark green. So like those easy, like earthy colors. I like somebody who dresses outside of that, which I have with my husband. But he has put me in my place once or twice. And I was like, excuse me? But at the same time, I appreciated that. So I will take that. I like the masculine man, but like, I don't want somebody who's like, okay, out camping for 3 days and then doesn't shower when he gets home.
Yeah, no, that's disgusting.
So
Hygiene
yes,
is a
because I
must.
think masculinity it's like this huge spectrum.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. So like, I think what defines it, you and I may have a different
Sure.
feeling of it than like somebody else in our group.
Yeah.
So that would actually be a really good thing to talk about too.
Yeah.
Among the friends.
Yeah.
Because what we think masculinity is.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you don't have to have somebody who's necessarily like alpha in order to bring you into your feminine. I'm finding out that my husband doing things for me without me having to ask him is making me more submissive.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm supported in all those other ways I didn't feel supported in before.
Yeah.
So that is giving me more relaxation and bringing me into my feminine energy. If you guys, this is like crazy shit. If you guys don't believe it, that's fine, but it's a thing. So, but yeah, that would be very I'd be very interested because I think men think differently of masculinity than women as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like
totally
their
agree.
definition would be different than ours.
I agree.
Okay. So you like somebody that puts you in your place. That's your definition of, or part of it.
Yeah.
Of masculinity.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm like, I don't want somebody who like is going to sit there and like bawl their eyes out with me for 3 hours. Like if you need to tear up because I'm crying, that's fine. But you don't get to sit there and bawl your eyes out.
Yeah.
When it's, you know what I mean? Like, so I get like there's lines, but also like a man who does not cry, that's a problem.
Who's not tapped into his emotional side is
a problem.
Too. Yeah. I totally agree.
That baby boy needs a hug and somebody to tell him it's okay to cry, you know, because that's the other part of it too, is I think that men think men shouldn't cry.
Right.
And like, that doesn't make you any
do,
less of a man.
Yeah.
Because you need to cry. It means that you have tapped into that channel because I'm sorry, but crying is cathartic, especially like if you just went through something that is life altering or life changing,
Sure.
or even just having a shitty fucking day.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I'm going to start my period within the next 48 hours. Like that's a reason to cry. It's okay to cry.
Yeah. It's okay
But
to cry.
yeah, no, I'm with you on that. The cries.
Yeah. And then I think like one of my last ones that's like top of my list is a liar.
Yes.
And there's different spectrums of this, right? Like there's like
For
the
sure.
white lies, there's big lies. I mean, all different kinds of things. But in my opinion, any type of lying or dishonesty or deceitfulness is like not okay.
Yeah.
So like that's an absolute rule breaker. And I think it's interesting because Dan is probably one of the most honest people to a fault.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
But it's what it also attracts me to him because I know that I don't ever have to question, even though I do sometimes, question where I'm at with him.
Yeah.
Like truly deep down inside, I know I don't. Sometimes like my insecurities play on that and like I don't, like I'm making shit up in my head, right? Like, but that's my own shit that has nothing to do with him.
Right.
But I know deep down, like I could trust him with absolutely anything.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever felt that way about almost anybody in my entire life. And not just like a man, anybody in my entire life. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you found that piece.
Yeah.
Because I feel the same way. The liar thing. Ooh, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really big thing, especially lies of omission.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Deceitfulness.
Yes. Like, well, I didn't tell you, but I didn't lie to you about it.
Right.
I'm sorry. That's something that was relevant to something else we talked about that you should have brought up. So I feel like it's a lie.
Yeah.
because you lied by omission by not bringing it up at all. Well, you didn't ask the question.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Exactly.
If I was anywhere near the spectrum, you should be divulging.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, yeah, the liar thing is really big, and I'm with you on that. I think one of the reasons I married Chris was because I have never felt more secure in a relationship ever.
Yeah.
I've never felt like I don't have to ask him to be affectionate. I don't have to ask him to hug me when I'm crying.
Yeah.
I don't have to beg for his attention. I don't have to I've never even looked through my husband's phone.
Yeah.
Ever. In the 7 years we've been together, never looked through his phone. Because I think it'd be boring as shit, A. And B, I trust that he's not doing anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's not that, like, he has never given me a reason to even question him.
Yeah.
And even if and at some point, if he did give me a reason to question him, we talked about it. He squashed it for me and it was over. You know? So I feel like that was one of the biggest things is I knew I could trust him with my heart, if nothing else.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Everything else would just work its way together.
Yeah.
So yeah, the liar thing is huge. And like, everybody's been lied to in relationships. Everybody's been deceived, or they've been, deceived. But it's one of those things that's really hard to come back from.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's such a hard relationship killer for me. Like, the second you lie to me, what else have you been lying to me about that I don't know about?
Exactly.
So yeah, I agree. No liars. I also can be truthful to a fault.
Yeah.
I feel like I hold my tongue a smidge more than your husband.
A smidge.
A smidge, but there's not I appreciate that so much about him.
Yeah.
But I know I can be the same way with him. Be like, Dan, I want to fucking talk to you about something you said or something you did. And he'd be like, all right, bitch, let's talk.
Exactly.
Let's figure it out. Let's talk about it. And it's easily, and then we talk about it and it gets squashed.
Yeah.
Which is really
because
nice.
you're not beating around the bush.
But
you're
also
just being honest about your feelings too.
And there's no awkward air.
Exactly.
Because I'm going to bring it up and he's going to bring it up. So I'm like, great, let's do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
And Chris, on the other hand, doesn't like to start fights. So he doesn't bring stuff up that bothers him until I bring something up that bothers me. And then he's like, well, since we're talking about it. And I'm like, why don't you just bring this shit up? And he's like, well, I don't want to start a fight. And I'm like, but if it's not a fight, and obviously you've been thinking about it, we can talk about it and it's over.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. And I feel like after these few years of being married, it's helped, but he still definitely doesn't start a fight.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah, he does not start a fight. Which is so great for me, but sometimes it's okay to just talk about things.
Yeah.
And I think he's always afraid it's going to turn into a fight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it doesn't have to be. If you want to talk about it, let's keep some neutral tones.
Poor buddy.
I know. Poor Foofy.
Okay.
So are we moving on to friendship?
Yeah.
Friendship. Okay.
So deal breakers within a friendship.
Okay. I actually am going to just stick with liar.
That's
a good start.
Yeah.
Because what's the point of being friends with somebody if you can't even tell them the truth?
Yeah.
Right?
And why lie to a friend anyways?
Correct.
Then don't be my friend.
Correct.
You have a very simple choice with that.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50 shot. You tell the truth or you lie.
Yeah.
Trust me, the lies are not worth keeping up with.
Exactly.
They're not worth keeping up with. And you eventually will get caught.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been friends with oh my God, like a chronic liar?
Not that I can really remember, to be honest with you.
I did. You? Yes.
Really?
Yeah. And it took oh God, this was in my early 20s, late teens to 20s for sure. And we found it out because I had talked to her boyfriend and I had talked to one of her friends, and like we had all like collaborated stories on a couple things, and I'm like, I was there, or like they were like, no, I was with her for that didn't happen that day, and I'm like,
oh my God,
what the fuck is this bitch? Like, and come to find out she'd been lying about a few things, like stuff like going on in like her everyday life she was lying on, and I was like, why?
Like a pathological liar.
Yes, that was the word. Yeah. So I quickly recognized the signs after that.
Yeah.
So I haven't been friends with anybody like this since then, but I think that's what I'm like, oh, okay, well. And I mean, the thing is I know I've worked with a couple or I was a supervisor for a couple. And like, once you catch on, like all I want to do is take you down.
Oh, I
want to
take you.
I want to take you down. And the thing is working for corporate America, you have to they have to follow the paper trail. So you have to make sure it's all documented and talked to about. And so, yeah, but
them's the rules.
Yeah. Like I literally, side story, I literally had somebody I used to work with back in to somebody else's vehicle. And she didn't even know it.
Quote unquote.
Until we watched the footage, brought her into the office like, ma'am, you hit blah, blah, blah's car.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I didn't. Okay. I remember my manager literally turning her screen around being like, so that's not your truck and you driving it. Had no idea. I don't know how she had no idea. Because she hit it, sat there for a second. Oh, yeah, no, she sat there it was probably a good 5 to 8 seconds. And then decided, like, what was she going to do in those 5 to 8 seconds? And then she just puts it in drive, turns it, and drives out of the parking lot.
Oh, my God. Was there a lot of damage done?
No, it was a motorcycle.
Oh.
But, like, his front end, he had to get, like, not the axle, but, like, part of, like, his handlebars were messed up.
Yeah.
The front tire popped. Like, he wasn't able to drive it home that night, I don't think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So then he comes out from his, shift, and then I'm like, oh, whoops. That sucks. And so, there's that. So, liar.
Okay. Clinginess.
Also, yes.
Like possessiveness.
Yes. Girl. You are not my
You're not my only
partner,
friend.
and you're not my only friend.
I'm allowed to have other friends.
Uh-huh.
Get the fuck out of here.
Even though your husband said when I got here today, because I was on the phone with my stepdad. Bitch, I know you don't have any more friends. I was like, that was my dad, you ass.
I tell that to Kelly all the time. She's like, oh, I, did this with this person. I'm like, you're not allowed to have more friends.
But then you have all of us. There it is. There's
funny.
the truth.
But it's a joke. So
yeah,
it's
of course.
but there are some people who are like, literally, you're not allowed to have another friend.
Uh-huh.
And they are possessive.
And it starts like at Eliana's age.
Oh, yeah. No, totally. It's
Or
worse
before.
at that age.
Yeah. Yeah, because like, okay, well, you're my only friend. We're going to do everything together. You're not allowed to see anybody else or do anything else.
Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't do that either. Even though me and Sabrina were each other's only friend all through high school. But that was like, it was me and her. And then we would have like our little groups that we hung out with.
Yeah.
So it was fine. But neither of us were like possessive over each other.
Yeah.
It's so funny. That shit's crazy that we some girls used to be like that.
I know. But like it happens with women our age. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Girl, you need a man.
Yeah.
Or a woman if that's what you're into. Like that's the thing. You need a romantic partner.
Yes. Exactly.
I'll correct it. You need a romantic partner.
Yes. You need romance in your life. Please. Help yourself.
If you're trying to be possessive over a friend,
get a life.
get a life.
And if you're married, then you probably need a new husband.
Oh, yes. Or
'Cause
wife.
I've seen that too.
Or wife.
Or wife. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because it means you have too much time. You're not putting enough time into your relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah. You just want to start a fight, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. So relationship no goes for me. So I will say, and I hope I'll just say it. I cannot be around somebody who does not have a vice or does not support my vice. So
You sound so ridiculous.
I know I sound so stupid, but like, so like I smoke weed. Okay. So but like, I don't want to have a friend that's gonna be like, oh my God, you should quit. Oh my God, that's gross.
Because it just doesn't fit your...
Right. Like, that's not my vibe,
you don't have
bro.
to do it, but...
Correct. You don't have to do it. I'll never force you to do it. But like, if you are going to give me shit for it, you can leave. Kids, I understand giving me shit for it. Go ahead. Give me shit for it, kid. I never smoked anything until I turned 30 years old. So until that happens for you, like, I didn't give in to all the peer pressure as a kid, thankfully. Yeah. But yes. So, or like, I don't mind being around because some of our friends are drinkers, some of us are smokers, and some of us do both. So, or some of us do none. Yeah. So we kind of balance all of each other out like that, I think, which is really nice. But I couldn't be around somebody who was like giving me shit for something I do daily. Yeah. You know, it'd be like somebody who'd be like, oh my God, you go to the gym? Yep. Yeah, I do. But then I come home and smoke. So, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Like, I don't need to be given shit about my daily life.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So that's a no for me. Telling me how to live my life. Controlling.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flakiness.
Yes. Yeah, bitch. Like, do you even want to be my friend?
Yes. Like, if we make a plan, like, show up.
Yeah. Or at least have a really legitimate reason.
And it's understandable if it's like once or twice, but when it's like every time.
Yeah. No,
you're not. You don't really care.
No.
Or you're hiding something because you know I'll read right through it because you know I know you and you don't want me to know.
I feel like that, in my experience as well, has been the only reason long-term friends have been flaky for periods, is because they were doing something that they didn't want me to know about or that I would see right through. And they knew I would say something about it. Because you and I, in our group, we are the tell you like it is.
Yeah.
This is how we're going to say it. We may or may not hurt your feelings, but we don't mean to. But if we do, meh.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
you'll get over it.
Yeah, you'll get over it because we're doing it we're coming from a place of love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, flaky. That's a no.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
Like, and especially when you like plan something and you like took the time out of your schedule or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, that's frustrating.
Yeah, that would absolutely be. Okay, so another shitty friend quality, which I think we tend to push out of our lives unless it's us in our stage of where we are in life, like in our mid-30s, where usually these people have weeded out of our lives, but mooches.
Oh, yeah. That is horrible.
Like, you need a place to stay, go get a hotel room.
Yes.
But you can come to my house. Like, you know you could come to my house. But, like, if you're that friend that's always needing a place to stay, you need to get your shit together.
Agreed.
You need to get it together. Because if you are 30-something and you have a job...
You can get a hotel.
Yeah. Get your shit together.
Unless I invite you.
Right. Or like you got in a fight with your significant other, or you need to get out of your house because you're going to murder your children or your dog or whatever.
Yeah.
Come on over. My house is open. But like, do you get to stay for a week? No.
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 Bye.
Yeah.
And I'm also not helping you move. I am too old.
I feel like
to help people move.
Yeah. And like, we just had this discussion today too, is I'm currently renting a house and we just re-signed the lease because I'm like, I'm not moving. I love this house.
Yeah.
I love this house for right now, but I'm not moving until we buy a house.
No, and your 12-pack of beer is not enough for me to help you move anymore.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. No. Get a moving truck.
I don't even want to help me move.
Get a moving truck.
If I would need to move.
Yes. Agreed.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Moochers is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one for me is competition, like people who are always trying to compete with you.
Like one-uppers.
Like one-uppers. Yes.
Yes.
And it doesn't even have to be a big thing. It could be like, oh yeah, I did that too. Or, oh yeah. Okay.
We're
Great.
Again,
Good for you.
You don't need to prove anything to me.
Yeah.
We're friends. I'm taking you as you are.
Yeah.
And if you feel like you need to prove something or we're in competition, then we are not going to be friends.
No.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, like that was 20s shit.
Yes.
You know, like when you would go out and be like, oh my God, that guy's really hot. Oh my God, who's going to go for him? And then, you know, no. We're grown-ass women. We don't have time for that shit anymore. Yeah. Nope. Absolutely. Okay. So friendship. I'm not into super judgy people. I actually have a problem with super judgy people, but so yeah, you can't be super judgy. This kind of goes back to like giving me shit about what I do in my daily life.
Yeah.
But like not even about me too, but like if we go out in public and you have to comment on everything people's wearing, the shoes they're wearing. Oh my God, that's ugly. Oh my God, this is gross. Oh my God, I'm like, we're at the mall.
Yeah.
Everything is different. Stores are different for different people. Don't go in. If you don't like it, if you think it's ugly, don't go in.
Exactly.
So yeah, no, the judginess, I feel like as I've gotten older is really hard to be around because I feel like I just take people for who they are.
Yeah.
Right off the
core,
gate.
yeah.
And if you want to screw it up, that's on you. But if you want to talk to somebody who's cool, I got you.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you your perspective. I'm going to ask you where you're coming from. I probably won't even agree with you, but I still want to know where you're coming from.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I think it's funny to be judgy, but that's not who I actually am. You know what I mean? Like at my core.
Yeah. Every once in a while. Yeah.
I will judge the shit out of people, but I will also be your best friend.
Right. Well, and that's the difference. It's like sometimes you just want to like be like, oh my God, I'm just not in a great mood today and I need to judge everything around me. Okay, fine. But if like we go to if we go to the mall or something and you're like, oh my God, ew, gross. Okay, then stop looking at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be so judgy. Like take people for who they are and what they stand for. Again, you don't even have to agree with them. But if you're like me, I'm genuinely interested in what other people's perspectives are.
Sure.
So I'm always going to be like, yo, what do you think?
Yeah.
You know, and
exactly.
like, I don't have to agree with you, but I'm still interested.
Yeah.
Don't be judgy. And I feel like the judgiest people are also the most unhappy. I do want to say that.
And insecure.
100%. Yeah. Like and we all have those people that we work with.
Yep.
Or, you know, like the gossip queen at work or, you know, everybody's worked with somebody like this or they are somebody like this or they know somebody like this.
Totally.
So yeah, the judgy thing, it really bothers me. The more emotionally mature I become, the less tolerant I am of judginess.
Yeah.
And
because
I'm like,
there's no reason for it.
Yeah. If you don't like it, I don't care.
Don't look at it.
Right.
Don't pay attention to it.
Like y'all with my eyebrows.
Hideous. But I've moved on.
Right. But you've moved on. You guys said your piece. You're like, wow, those are spiky and straight and they're very, very large. Great. Thanks.
Yep.
Kiss my ass. Love you guys so much. Bye. You know?
Exactly.
But you got it off your chest and we're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah. Again,
I'm honest.
This is why we love each other because we appreciate the sentimentality of all of the emotions, good and bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All of it.
Okay. Well, that's it for today.
Yeah, that was a good one. I love that. Today I love that I'm like, I hate judginess after we were just doing icks.
I know.
And pet
being
peeves
judgy.
And deal breakers. So it's fine.
Sorry about it.
Oh, yeah.
We can be judgy.
This is one of those sorry, not sorry moments for sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you guys have any pet peeves or icks or absolute no's, deal breakers for relationships or friendships, let us know.
Yeah.
And we would love to read those off.
Yeah. And we probably will even agree with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always. Okay.
Thank you
Until
so
next
much.
time.
Next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye.